75,000 miles on my 2015 Infiniti QX70. A major milestone, but that milestone came with some unforeseen costs, which I'll mention in the video, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So my 2015 Infiniti QX70 finally made it to 75,000 miles. In this video, I'll quickly go over the exterior and some of the interior aspects of the car in terms of cargo, things like that. Some of you watching this video, probably a good number of you watching this video, are QX70 owners or FX3537 owners. You'll probably chime in terms of what you feel about the car or your past ownership. Let me know in the comment section, you know, what your ownership experience has been. Let's go ahead and take a look at the exterior and see how well it's held up the last 75,000 miles. So as you can see here, there's some paint chips on the hood, as well as the bumper, and that's pretty normal with, you know, just the rock being kicked up from the vehicles that were probably ahead of me. Now there is some hazing here on both headlights, and that's pretty normal. I'm probably going to do a separate video on how to get rid of that. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the fading on the bumper here, the vinyl or this plastic part of the bumper, and you can see some fading on the wheel arches on above all four tires, and you also have the fading on the rocker panels. As well as the rear bumper. I may do like an upgrade and get rid of this plastic piece, or I might just use like Meguiar's, like a restore vinyl, one of their products anyway. Now, since I've had my QX70 the last 7 years, I would say the good part of it has been, you know, of ownership has been, it's been kept in the garage for at least 5+ years. But when I got the Q60, it's pretty much been outside. But I've been waxing it and pretty much taking care of, you know, waxing it probably once every quarter, once every 3 months. So I think that's part of the reason why the paint, as you can see, has held up pretty well. There hasn't been any type of clear coat issues. Let's take a look at the roof. But other than that, I would say after 75,000 miles, the exterior in terms of the paint and overall the exterior of the QX70 has held up pretty well. Let's go ahead and take a quick look of the interior of my QX70. So as you can see, it's pretty much held up pretty well the last 6+7 years. I really like the quilted leather seats. I think it makes the driving experience so much better. It's very comfortable, nice cushion here. But as you can see here on this part of the driver's seats, there's some wear and tear, but that's pretty much normal. The one other thing I like about the interior is the maple wood accents on each door. You have it on the driver and passenger side doors, as well as the rear doors. In my opinion, I think this QX70 has pretty much been a good investment for me, as far as pretty much all the cars that I've ever owned. As a passenger in the QX70, you're pretty comfortable in these quilted leather seats. You have these back pockets here at each driver and passenger seats. You have these vents here, and you also have this 12-volt socket, and there's plenty of leg room in these back seats, as you can see here. I'm about 5'5" and a half, and there's plenty of leg room here. So you have this amount of leg space here, and you have these really comfortable headrests right here, one for each passenger as well as someone in the middle seat here. And as I showed you in a previous video, you also have this armrest. You have two cup holders and this little side compartment where you can just put pretty much anything you want. Let's talk about the interior space of the QX70, mainly the back seats in the cargo area. So as you can see right behind me, the back seats are folded down. I have some patio furniture in the back in the cargo area. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Obviously, as you can see here, it's difficult for me to see at the back, so I'm going to utilize the round view monitor to help me back up. So as you can see, the trunk space or the cargo area with the back seats folded down, I have enough space to put two patio furniture chairs. Yeah, so one of the things I like about the QX70 is the amount of cargo space you have with the back seats folded down. Yes, it's not one of the roomier SUVs with the cargo space to put a lot of things in, but I think it works out perfectly for me. And just to kind of show you how it looks here. Yeah, so with the seats folded down, definitely plenty of space. To give you an idea of how much space is available in the cargo area with the back seat folded down, I'll take the chairs out. Yeah, so definitely there's plenty of space here in the cargo area with these back seats folded down. You definitely have enough space to, put a big screen TV in here, or pretty much anything that would fit in this area. So let's take a look at it from the rear. And one of the features I like about the QX70, the one that I have, is this little compartment, and I showed you this in a previous video. So with this compartment here is a cargo area. Definitely can put some items in here and secure with these nets. Definitely a plus. One of the things I like about my QX70. Okay, with the chairs back in, and pretty much all you need to do is hit this button here to close it, trunk. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, my QX70 experienced some unforeseen costs. Now, the two unforeseen costs I do want to mention here, and actually I was surprised that this even happened to my QX70. So the first one is the rear heater hose. So what happened there is that I noticed in my driveway there was some drips, and I thought it was pretty much just from another car that I previously owned, or a contractor that was doing some work to my house, and I just didn't think anything of it. But it was caught, or the service technician pretty much brought it to my attention, and that cost for replacing the rear heater hose was $345.18, as you can see here. So let me go ahead and go through the description of what the technician mentioned here. Heater hose and clamps, replace plastic connector for passenger side heater hose, then replace the one-time SU clamps, check for leaks. Leaks were found. Once that heater hose was replaced, they had to pretty much level off the coolant. Now, the one costly repair that pretty much I was just completely surprised about was the transmission. So let me set it up for you. So one time I was leaving my parents' house, coming out of their neighborhood. My car would not come out of second or first gear. It would just like rev up all the way to 4,000 RPM. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I was like, man, should I get my car towed? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to see if I can pretty much make it to my house. And good thing I live in the same general area as my parents live. And I actually made it back to the house. I kind of Googled, like, I went to a couple of forums and figured out, okay, what's causing the QX70 to not come out of first gear? And I was like thinking it could be the drive belt. I decided to have it towed, and long story short, got it towed. This happened at a little over 70,000 miles. 70,000, to be more accurate, 70,821 miles. So let's go through the work order here. Client states that the vehicle transmission is intermittently stuck in first gear and will not shift into higher gears. Client noted that that concern stopped, but then reappeared when turning on the AC system. So, not sure if it is related. Advisor noted that no warning lights are present in the instrument cluster at the time of write-up, which there was no type of lights coming up on the instrument cluster. And this is pretty much like floored me as far as the amount of money. Replace control valve body and output speed sensor per diag. Replace all necessary gaskets, hardware, and fluid needed. So it looks like the valve assembly control, not the transmission itself, went bad. During the diagnostic, they also determined that the drive belt, the fan belt, needed to be replaced, which came out to $296.83. So after the control valve assembly or body was replaced and the drive belt was replaced, they did a road test, and they also determined that there was a problem with the AC. During line, a post-repair control road testing, quality control road testing, technicians stated that the AC system shut off while driving. Technicians scanned DTCS, found communication DTCS trace to auto AC module. Confirmed module failure, necessary to replace. I went ahead and approved the repair. The parts was $763.59. Labor is $195. So that came out to like $958.59. Just to wrap everything up in terms of like the unexpected costs that I experienced with my QX70 at 70,000 miles, the total well over $6,000, probably closer to $6,500. So the Infiniti dealer that I work with at a service shop, they pretty much put in a call to Infiniti and place some paperwork in. Just like, since I'm a long-term customer, we can help you out, Orlando. And what they worked out with Infiniti is a goodwill gesture on. So my out of pocket on that day when I told them to go ahead and do it, they had the car for like, I want to say probably 3 to 4 days. I ended up paying $3,500. So that's better than paying over $6,000. But that was still a costly repair. To this day, I'm still surprised that the rear heater hose, there was a leak there. Yes, hoses go bad. Yeah, that was like about $350, I believe. As I mentioned, it's like $347. So it was a few hundred. That didn't cost that much. But with the transmission, having issues with the transmission, the drive belts do go bad. The AC AMP module. Yeah, I would say those things like that doesn't happen at 70,000, maybe 100,000. And a lot of people in my QX70 videos comment that, like, yeah, I've had my QX70 for well over 100,000 miles, no issues. So when I paid that amount of money, $3,500, and I'm glad that Infiniti did that goodwill gesture, it kind of like, man, do I just get out of this QX70 or just keep it? Yes, my QX70 is paid off. It's a good feeling that it's paid off, but the fact that I had to pay that amount of money so soon, and some of the parts going bad, to this day, I'm thinking about getting out of it. I don't know. Overall, I like my QX70. It's pretty much doing its job. It gets me from, it's my daily. So yeah, so that's pretty much the unforeseen cost. So if you're on the fence or you're thinking about buying the QX70, my recommendation to you is buy the extended warranty. You can get it either through the dealer or get it through some other companies. I know there's like there's some commercials out there for, like, buying extended warranties for your car, but if you're really pretty much set on buying the QX70 and it's out of warranty, I recommend going ahead and get the extended warranty either through Infiniti or from another company. I recommend doing your homework because there's some really competitive pricing out there as far as what you can buy. But if you don't want to get the QX70 based on what I just told you, I would say it happens. Parts go bad. You're not gonna have the perfect car. Can't buy the perfect car. Parts do go bad, but if you're on the fence, just something to make a note of. Like, these things can happen. So hopefully it doesn't happen to you if you're currently a QX70 owner or FX37. So yeah, that's some of the unforeseen costs that I experienced with my QX70 the last 20 to 30,000 miles.